Welcome to The Common Whys, your destination for answers and facts that'll leave you saying, "Wow, I never knew that." In the early stages of its invasion of Ukraine, Russia had touted its no-limits partnership with China as a crucial asset. However, China quickly clarified that this partnership had its boundaries. In this video, we focus on China's interest as it is entangled with Russia's suffering in Ukraine. In our quest to unravel these details, we cannot help but reflect upon the high price Russia will have to pay for China's support and its impact on Russia's future. Russia's increasing desperation. In the early stages of its invasion of Ukraine, Russia displayed a sense of confidence bolstered by its energy revenues and its purported partnership with China. However, as the conflict extended into its 18th month, Russia grappled with increasing desperation and economic turmoil. Western-imposed price caps on Russian energy exports began to erode government revenues significantly. These price caps allowed Russia to continue selling its oil and gas, preventing a global energy crisis, but they did not yield a profit. Russia's most vital revenue source was reduced to a break-even state. Moreover, as Russia shifted its focus to selling oil to India to compensate for the loss of Western business, it encountered a new challenge. The Indian government insisted on transactions in rupees, leaving Russia with a growing stockpile of a currency of limited international utility. This precarious situation left Russia powerless to acquire essential goods using those rupees. In essence, Russia was cannibalizing its energy sector to finance the costly war in Ukraine. With its economic options dwindling, Russia's predicament appeared dire. The country's financial health was at stake, and the war's continuation put an increasingly severe strain on its economy, leaving it on the precipice of desperation. As Russia's dependence on China grew in this hour of need, the implications of this reliance on its partnership with China became even more complex. Desperation led Russia to take risks it had not initially anticipated, which were not without significant consequences for its future. Shortages in weapon components. One of Russia's most significant challenges as its war in Ukraine extended beyond the 18-month mark was the severe shortages in essential weapon components. Sanctions imposed on semiconductor sales to Russia left its defense industry in a precarious position. The country was scrounging for alternatives to its military's need for advanced weapon systems and components. Russia's inability to procure the necessary components for its sophisticated arms was bare for the world to see. These vital components are necessary for the country's defense industry to produce a limited number of advanced weapon systems each month. For instance, it was estimated that Russia could produce as few as 20 tanks per month, and these units often needed to be in a better state of modernity. To address this critical issue, Russia turned to external sources, including countries like Iran, to purchase drones and military equipment. However, these deals often favored the supplying countries over Russia, intensifying the nation's economic and military vulnerabilities. Despite Russia's initial hope that China would provide extensive support, the expectation of heavy equipment transfers still needed to be fulfilled. Instead, China covertly aided Russia by supplying vital equipment and dual-use hardware, such as drones and computer chips, to bolster Russia's defense industry. While not necessarily in the form of heavy weaponry, this support proved invaluable to Russia as it struggled to maintain its military capabilities in the prolonged conflict. The shortages in weapon components further exposed Russia's reliance on international sources for its military needs, underlining the complexity and vulnerability of its situation in Ukraine. China's overt and covert support. While Russia anticipated full-blown support from China, the reality of their partnership was more nuanced. China's approach to supporting Russia in its war against Ukraine combined overt and covert actions. On the surface, China's support appeared relatively cautious and non-committal. China played a role in alleviating Russia's economic pressures by significantly increasing its import of Russian energy, especially after Western sanctions. China also allowed Russia to utilize its financial institutions for specific transactions, evading Western restrictions. Furthermore, intelligence suggested that Chinese defense firms provided crucial equipment to the Russian war effort. However, the expected flood of Chinese military hardware, such as tanks, artillery, and missiles, into Russia never materialized. Instead, China discreetly assisted Russia in evading sanctions by transferring substantial amounts of dual-use hardware, computer chips, and other military components to fuel Russia's defense industry. This covert support helped Russia to maintain its military capabilities despite the economic hardships caused by sanctions and energy price caps. China's cautious and strategic approach allowed it to remain non-committal in the international arena while advancing its interests by supporting Russia more covertly, highlighting the intricacies of its partnership. China's self-interest and ambitions. China's support for Russia is a strategic move to advance its interests. By promoting transactions with Russia in the Chinese yuan, China strengthens its currency and gains more control over international trade. Furthermore, China's unclear political support for Russia allows it to conduct through the complex global political landscape, ensuring its substantial investments in Western countries remain secure. However, beneath this cautious support, China's long-term ambition lies in securing the Russian Far East's vast untapped resources, its strategic location, and its significance in bridging China's overland energy supply routes. China seeks to seize this territory, ensuring its prosperity and strengthening its influence on the global stage, while Russia's desperation plays into these ambitious designs. China's long-term goals. A far-reaching and strategic vision drives China's involvement in Russia's struggles in Ukraine. As China seeks to challenge the United States as the global superpower, it recognizes that Russia holds essential components for achieving this ambition. While it has overtaken Russia economically, politically, and militarily, the Russian Far East presents an irresistible prize rich in energy and resources. China aims to gain control over this region, securing overland energy supply routes and reducing its reliance on sea-based trade, particularly concerning energy imports. This pursuit aligns with China's broader aim of advancing its assertive foreign policy objectives, potentially including the annexation of Taiwan at a time when the United States Navy threatens its sea-based trade routes. In the drastic geopolitics changes, the world is witnessing a calculated game unfold, where Russia's struggles in Ukraine directly play into China's hands. As Russia faces increasing desperation, shortages in weapon components, and complex dependencies, China seizes the opportunity to serve its self-interest and foster long-term ambitions. The repercussions extend far beyond their partnership, shaping the balance of power on the global stage. The outcome in Ukraine holds the key to whether China can further its quest to challenge the United States as the world's preeminent superpower. As the world watches this geopolitical chess match unfold, stay informed on the intricate moves shaping the future. Subscribe to our channel, leave your comments, like this video, and share it with those who want to crack the hidden motives driving international relations.